Cats have a rule book. They were born knowing it, they live by it every single day, and they fully expect you to follow it too. The problem? Nobody gave you a copy. Most people assume their cat's moods are random. One minute they're purring on your lap, the next they've bitten your hand and walked off like nothing happened. It feels unpredictable, confusing, sometimes even a little rude. But here's what most owners don't realize: none of that behavior is random. Every reaction, every cold stare, every slow retreat, it's your cat responding to whether you've followed the rules or broken them. These aren't rules cats invented to be difficult. They are deep-wired social codes that come from thousands of years of feline instinct and communication. And the cats in your life are enforcing them whether you know about them or not. Once you understand what they actually are, your entire relationship with your cat will start to make a different kind of sense. So let's go through them, the unspoken rules your cat genuinely expects you to follow. You do not approach the cat. The cat approaches you. This one gets broken constantly, especially by well-meaning owners who just want to show their cat affection. You walk into a room, you spot your cat curled up on the couch, and you go over to pet them. Seems harmless. But from your cat's perspective, you just violated one of the most fundamental social expectations in their world. In feline social structure, approaching another animal directly, especially without an invitation, is a signal of dominance or threat. Cats greet each other cautiously. They don't march up to one another, they wait, they observe, they let the other party signal comfort before closing the distance. When you walk straight toward your cat, looming over them with your hand outstretched, you are, in their language, being pushy at best and threatening at worst. Research out of the University of Sussex supports this. Studies on cat-human interaction consistently show that cats engage longer, more positively, and with more affection when the human lets the cat initiate contact. The cats who seem cold or standoffish in many households are often just responding to owners who don't give them the space to come forward on their own terms. What this means for you: next time you're in the same room as your cat, sit down, relax, and let them make the first move. Extend one finger low to the ground, that's the cat equivalent of a gentle hello, and wait. If they come and sniff, rub, or headbutt your hand, you've just been invited. That moment of contact means 10 times more because your cat chose it. Here's what most owners miss about eye contact with cats. A long, unblinking stare in feline language is not a sign of love. It's a challenge. When cats stare each other down without blinking, it's almost always a dominance display or a warning. If you hold your cat's gaze too long, particularly with wide, unblinking eyes, you are, in their world, issuing a challenge. That's why some cats look away, leave the room, or in more anxious cats, flatten their ears and get defensive. Now here's the flip side, the slow blink. This is one of the most important pieces of feline body language you can learn, and it works in both directions. When a cat slowly closes their eyes halfway and opens them again in your direction, they are telling you they trust you completely. They feel safe. In a world where a cat's survival instinct tells them never to close their eyes around a threat, choosing to do so in your presence is a profound signal. Scientists call this the slow blink, and studies published in scientific reports confirm that cats respond positively to humans who slow blink back at them. When the human initiated a slow blink, cats were significantly more likely to approach and engage compared to when the human maintained a neutral expression. The rule your cat expects you to follow: don't stare. And when they slow blink at you, slow blink back. It's their way of saying, I trust you. Meeting that with the right response tells them the feeling is mutual. It sounds simple, but it is one of the fastest ways to deepen the bond you have with your cat. Rule 3 is one that almost every cat owner breaks without realizing it: do not interrupt your cat when they are grooming themselves. Grooming is not just hygiene for cats. It is a deeply self-regulating behavior tied to their nervous system. Cats groom to calm down after stress, to reset after a social interaction, to process emotions, and to re-establish a sense of control over their environment. When a cat settles in for a grooming session, they are engaged in something genuinely important to their mental state. Reaching over to pet them mid-groom, picking them up, making a loud noise, or drawing their attention away, these feel like interruptions to a critical process. Some cats will simply stop, give you a look, and relocate. Others will groom compulsively afterward, restarting the whole sequence from the beginning. Anxious cats in particular can be significantly destabilized by repeated interruptions during grooming. There's also a social signal embedded here. When cats groom each other, what's called allogrooming, they take turns and they read each other's body language constantly. There's a natural rhythm and permission structure built into the whole exchange. Your cat expects the same awareness from you. The takeaway: when your cat is mid-groom, let them finish. Watch, appreciate it, but don't intervene. When they are done, they'll often look up and around. That's usually when they are available for connection again. Following that natural rhythm tells your cat you understand them, and that matters more than most owners realize. This one has caused confusion, and a fair amount of scratched hands, in households everywhere. When your cat rolls onto their back and exposes their belly, the instinct is immediate: rub the belly. It's soft. It's right there. They must want it. But that's not what's happening. A cat showing you their belly is displaying the highest form of trust they're capable of expressing. The belly is the most vulnerable part of any animal's body. Exposing it to you means they feel completely safe in your presence. It is a gift of trust. It is not a request for a belly rub. Most cats, when their belly is touched unexpectedly, will grab and bite, not out of aggression, but out of sheer reflex. The belly is wired with hypersensitive nerve endings, and sudden contact there triggers a defensive response that's basically hardwired into their biology. They weren't being deceptive. You misread the signal. Some cats do enjoy gentle belly contact, usually after a slow, cautious approach and clear signals of comfort. But the rule your cat expects is this: receiving the belly display means you honor the trust, not that you automatically reach for it. Acknowledge the moment, talk softly, slow blink, sit with them, without assuming it's an open invitation. When you start responding correctly to the belly display, you'll notice your cat does it more often. Because the trust is being received the way they intended. Before we get to the last rule, think about this: cats don't experience time the way we do, but they are extraordinary pattern readers. They notice everything. Feeding times, sleep schedules, the sound of your alarm, the route you walk through the house in the morning, your cat has catalogued all of it. Cats feel safest in predictable environments. When your schedule is consistent, when your energy is stable, when the rhythms of the household are reliable, your cat's nervous system settles. Stress hormones stay low. They sleep deeply. They are more affectionate and more social. Disruptions, irregular feeding, loud unexpected visitors, furniture moved around, changes in your daily schedule, all of these register as instability. Not danger necessarily, but uncertainty. And uncertainty costs a cat energy. They go on low-level alert. They hide more. They groom excessively. They become less available emotionally. The unspoken rule here is this: your cat is not asking for grand gestures of love. They are asking for reliability. Feed them at the same time. Keep their space consistent. Let your moods and energy be as steady as possible when you're around them. In feline language, "you are predictable" translates directly to "you are safe," and safe is the foundation that all genuine cat affection is built on. If you've been hit and subscribed yet, now's a great time. We talk about cat behavior like this every week, and there's a lot more your cat has been trying to tell you. The final rule, and perhaps the most overlooked one. Cats are quiet creatures by nature, not because they have nothing to say, but because in their world, unnecessary noise is a sign of poor awareness. Cats in the wild are both predator and prey, and silence is survival. That instinct doesn't disappear in a domestic setting. It just becomes part of how they evaluate their environment and the people in it. When you talk loudly around your cat, play music at high volume, move through the house with heavy footsteps, or constantly try to engage them vocally, you are, in their perception, a source of noise and disruption. Cats who seem aloof with one person and devoted to another in the same household are almost always responding to differences in energy and sound. The quieter person isn't more boring. They are more trustworthy. This doesn't mean you have to tiptoe around your own home. It means being mindful of how you enter a room where your cat is resting. Lowering your voice when you speak to them. Letting silence exist between you rather than filling every moment with noise or touch. Those quiet, still moments you share with your cat, where you're both just present in the same room doing your own thing, those are, in cat language, some of the most intimate moments possible. Cats coexist peacefully with the people they love. They sit nearby without demanding attention. They rest in your presence because your presence itself is enough. When you can offer them that same quality of calm, undemanding company, you've met them exactly where they live. Cats have never been mysterious for no reason. Every behavior, every reaction, every moment of distance or closeness, it all has meaning. They have a social language that is precise, consistent, and completely learnable. The only reason it feels confusing is that nobody teaches it to us. The unspoken rules your cat lives by aren't a test of patience. They are an invitation to understand a creature that experiences the world in a completely different way than you do, and chooses, despite that difference, to share their life with you anyway. That's not something to take lightly. Let them come to you. Speak their language with your eyes. Give them the quiet, the space, the rhythm they need. And watch what happens when they realize you actually get it. Because a cat who trusts you completely is one of the most extraordinary things in the world. Thanks for watching. If your cat has ever broken one of your unspoken rules, drop it in the comments below. And check out this video next. There's something about your cat's behavior at night that most owners never figure out.